with collage, it's not like painting, you know, I can't just picture something and then whip it up. I have just clippings to work with. I have magazines that I go through and try to find the right pictures and use these pictures like symbols and put them all together to make an image of an idea. So what am I making today? I think usually when I make something, I'm making it because I want to think more about it and I want to understand this idea that's kind of swirling around in my head a little bit more. I was listening to a conference and President Nelson had said something about the Salt Lake Temple's renovation, and I wanted to, you know, think more about renovating my life and taking the debris out of my life. So that's what we're gonna do today. And hopefully we can make something that makes sense. I'm just gonna take this stack and you guys can ask me some questions and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities.
When did you first start expressing yourself through art?
I can't remember a time really where I wasn't. I don't know exactly how old I was, but it was probably somewhere around the age of 8 years old. I had been watching out my window of my bedroom and saw a rainbow in the sky. And as I was looking at the rainbow, I was remembering in primary that song that they teach, not that song, but the story that they teach about Noah's Ark and the rainbow and how the rainbow represents God's promises. I had this really like warm and peaceful feeling, you know, like the spirit. You know, it affected me so much that I really wanted to just go and make something about it. Because I always wanted to remember the feeling that I had had while I was looking at this rainbow and thinking about God, and that something about that experience was important to me, and in a way I couldn't really coherently say like what it was about the experience. But I could make this piece of art that helped me to remember the experience even now as an adult. And I don't necessarily remember it, the details of looking at the rainbow, but I remember the piece that I made about it. And I think it's because I made the art that I remembered the experience, if that makes any sense.
How has art strengthened your relationships with God?
Well, I feel like when I'm making it, I feel really connected to myself and my feelings. And you know how in the New Testament says, the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. And I think that these feelings that I feel and the Spirit of God sometimes are the same thing, you know? So when I'm here and I'm listening to my thoughts and I'm listening to my feelings, it's like I'm listening to the Spirit basically. In that way, I'm connecting with God and connecting with His Spirit and listening to what it is that He wants to teach me. So that's what art does for me anyway.
Well, like, so art can be kind of a vulnerable thing, I guess, because it can be very personal with this kind of art, or even just like with acting or like any kind of art.
Yeah.
How do you find like the confidence, I guess, to just like not be nervous, to just like be yourself and just share what you do?
Yeah, it is a very vulnerable thing, you know? And I think vulnerability is the key to like accessing God, because I don't think spirituality and God is something that you can keep to yourself and like continue to access it to its full extent. Like, it's something that you have to share. It's something that if you don't feel like sharing it, I don't think that it's going right. Like, then something's not happening the way it's supposed to. Because when we feel God, when we feel God's love, and when we feel love, it's not something that we want to keep inside of us. It's something that makes us want to do something, that makes us want to share it, that makes us want to connect with other people on some level, in some way. Let's look at one. Let's see what we can do with that. Maybe I can use a picture of a temple. I mean, the metaphor that President Nelson used was comparing our bodies to the temple. So maybe there's something with maybe this girl right here with her hand.
She has it.
So I could use her and, but like replace her body and her face with a temple. And then this hand that's going up like this can be throwing out some of this stuff. And there could be like a pile of debris like off to the side. And she's just throwing it off. And in this hand, maybe she could be holding this little duster thing, like time to clean house kind of thing. But the house is, I try to keep all my trash in one spot so it doesn't get mixed up with the clippings that aren't trash.
Of trash.
Ooh. And then this is one that I pulled out that I was thinking of using but wasn't sure how, but it's like a little music staff, and you know how it tells you how to play the song or sing the song, and it says happily right here. So I have like that in the background.
That is so cool.
Let's find a temple that fits her. This one. Her arm is kind of in front of her body a little bit. She's got it kind of laying on her hips. So I would cut around her, but I would also cut in here on the inside of her arm so that I can lay the arm over the top of the temple too. The temple hips. Yeah, that's good so far.
You're like accidentally cut off like something you needed.
Yeah, that's always frustrating. I'm like, oh well, no use crying over spilled milk, we're gonna make it work. Feather duster here. Okay, she's throwing that out. How can I make it look like yeah, it's kind of throwing it behind. Throwing it behind her.
Exactly.
What else? Is that good enough? I feel like I should have like a pile of trash in the back too. Temples, making room for the Spirit of God. I feel like there's probably more stuff I could add to this too. And a little line right at this box right here, so it could kind of look like the soda can is in there. Ooh, see, it looks more like trash now, doesn't it? I feel like these things have more to do with bodies because it's stuff like we consume. I don't know, there's a lot of different ways you could think about it. I like these because with pictures, when you're not doing words, pictures come with feelings, and like feelings are something that's inside of us. So like I could look at this picture, and because of my experiences and who I am, I'm gonna get a different message out of it than someone else would. And I think that's like the best thing about what art does, that God can kind of use symbols to speak to us where we're at, you know, in a language that is completely universal and will give us the message that's tailored to us specifically. So I kind of want to put something down here in that corner. And I want to do flowers in the front, because it's not just about what you're throwing out, but it's about what you're surrounding yourself with. Once it's all together and I can look at it, and this sounds like so like hippie-ish, but I let it speak to me, you know? Saying it out loud makes it sound weird, but
Not at all.
but I look at, you know, what I put together, and then I let the idea speak for itself and teach me